Welcome Capricorn to your in-depth weekly forecast for week commencing the 26th of February for the Sun or the Ascendant. Last week saw Jupiter, the planet of fortune, in a right angle with Venus. But Venus is also a planet of fortune. It's known as the lesser benefic. That combination may have seen you in the mood to have a flutter, and through to the middle of this week it could just come off for you. But Mars in your second house, like Venus, and if you recall they came into an exact conjunction on the 22nd, does require a little bit more care, because Mars linking to Jupiter can see you much more impulsive. This is where something can grip you. So if there is an item that you've really had your eye on, you might find it a little bit irresistible. Or is it someone you want to spoil with a lovely gift or gesture? That's a really lovely thing to do. But what the combination of energy at the heart of this week, which involves your ruler Saturn, is asking you to do, is to stay in touch with those core Capricornian values of checking through things in a very thorough, systematic and step-by-step way. It doesn't sound sexy, but actually it can really be an asset, because all that energy between Jupiter, Venus and Mars could tempt you to go for something where all of the information is not available to you. Or you could try to spoil someone who's not quite deserving of that level of generosity. Now, maybe it's going to be some kind of sideline or side hustle that calls out to you. Someone tells you about an opportunity to make money. It may actually have some merit, but just use that very probing, systematic approach of yours, that dry eye, to really look at the details. On Wednesday, we're going to have two Cazimis. That's when the Sun meets another planet in an exact conjunction. The first is with Mercury. They're quite common. The second, on the same day, is with your ruler Saturn. That's not a common event. In fact, it's pretty rare to have these two on the same day. Now, Saturn applying to Mercury, which is not at its best in Pisces, because Mercury really likes to understand and grapple with details for its rulership of Virgo. It's very much about quick information through Gemini. Well, Mercury is diluted because of the watery energy and the mutable energy of Pisces. So some information you're looking at might not be quite as clear as it seems. So later in the day, as Saturn exactly applies to the Sun, then that is an opportunity to use your wisdom. You know, Capricornian energy has in some ways been disparaged, I feel, very unfairly. The whole debate over Pluto moving from Capricorn into Aquarius. Used in the right way, the experience of Capricorn is something that can help us all, because it's very much to do with established and well rehearsed approaches that have stood the test of time. So you may need to scrutinize some information at the heart of this week, and it could be that this seems annoying when there's an opportunity that seems really good. And that part of you that does want to be a little bit freer, that Uranus has been pushing you to embrace over the last 5 or 6 years, could feel a bit resentful. But don't forget your core attributes. So if something seems perhaps too good to be true, remember that saying. If someone seems too good to be true, just be aware that, especially with Neptune in your third house, there may be some information that you're not aware of at the present time, and try to be philosophical if something doesn't quite play out. Now, by the end of this week, the quarter moon is going to be in your 12th house, and you could end up hearing something that can give you much more perspective on what I'm saying. It could go into the following week when you get that slice of information, but I would keep your cards a little bit close to your chest. I'm not saying you shouldn't be open-minded, because you could, as I mentioned before, have a stroke of fortune. But if it's anything significant, just proceed with a little bit of care for now. It's been a pleasure being with you. Thank you so much for joining me. I'd be honoured if you would subscribe. Also, if you'd like to ascend above this zodiac forecast and embrace the power of more serious astrology, if you give me 3 pieces of your birth data of time, date and place, or date and place, I can produce for you your life roadmap report. This will give you searing insights into the patterns that are played out in your life so far. You can get a much more intimate understanding of how these have affected your situation, but how you can work with them more effectively going forwards. In my special package of 30% off, you also get your 12 months transit. That's the moving planets in the sky interacting with your totally unique personal blueprint. Please see the link below for more.